The meeting will come to order. Before we start, we would have a pledge allegiance. Thank you.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay. The following items will come before the License Commission today at our regularly scheduled meeting. Initially, we will will vote on the meeting minutes from prior meetings. Approval of the minutes of August 25th and September 19th, 2018.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I will second that motion. The minutes are approved. The next item is applications submitted for the commission consideration. Application number one, item number one is Black Marble LLC, DBA Boston Harley-Davidson. The application for a special one-day wine, malt, common victular, and entertainment license. The application for the Black Marble Motorcycle LLC, DBA Boston Harley-Davidson, for 8 special one-day licenses for malt, wine, common victular, and entertainment to be exercised at the same location for 6 separate occasions. The requested dates and times are Sunday, November 4th, 2018, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. for a pet adoption day with Great Dog Rescue New England. That's an indoor event. The second day will be Thursday, November 25th, 2018, from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. for a trivia night. That's also an indoor event. The third event would be Friday, Sunday, November 29th through the 23rd through the 25th from 2018. That's 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And that's for a pre-owned tent event, also indoors. Saturday, December 8th, 2018, from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. for a Sit with Santa photo event, also an indoor event. The fifth item would be Thursday, December 13th, 2018, from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. for an ugly sweater party, also an indoor event. And the sixth date is December 22nd, 2018, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. for a last chance holiday shopping event, which is also an indoor event. These were continued from the last meeting. Is there someone here on behalf of the Black Marble?
Yes, Heather Vieira of 13 Jones Street in Everett.
Very good. Can you tell us something about these events and what you plan on doing here?
Yes, so with some of those events, the hours and days vary, but they are for the one-day permit to have beer sold at $1 for each event. We find that having the dollar beers at some of our events bring more of our customers in. It also keeps them in our dealership for longer. 2 of those events are geared towards children. The beer is not for them, it is for their parents, while the children participate in other activities.
Well, I mean, I think it's great you're running these charities, and it's always worked out very well for the city. But as you know, I'm not one that wants to encourage alcohol at a child's time. I think if you're bringing a child to see Santa Claus, I don't see a need for a parent to have 1 or 2 beers. And in this city, we've gotten a grant for the schools that at an early age, they will be speaking to the children and making them aware of what alcohol can do or any kind of abuse. So that's my concern with that one. As you know, I asked you to come back this time because I thought there would be a full board, and unfortunately, Commissioner LaCroy couldn't make it today. But I still have to say, I cannot go along with the child's event with alcohol being served. It mainly is to take your child to see Santa Claus. You're having a couple of beers, you're walking out, and you're driving with these children. So I personally cannot go along with the December 8th application. And that's all I have to say.
Will this be the same type of situation that you've had in the past? Where you have wristbanded people and limited the number of beers that people can have?
Yes, the limited number is 2 beers for the entire event, and we do mark that using wristbands. Once they have reached their limit, they are no longer served.
Very good. Well, I would make a motion to approve the events, including December 8th. And I do not have a second on that. So
I will make a substitute motion that all events except for December 8th be approved. That would be my substitute motion.
I would second that motion. It would allow you an opportunity to come to the next meeting for the December 8th issue, where there would be a full board, and then we'd be able to discuss it and see if perhaps, and maybe you could do something to address my fellow commissioners' concerns during that time period. So I guess the substitute motion would be that we would approve the Sunday, November 4th, 2018, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. for the Pet Adoption Day with Great Dog Rescue New England. Thursday, November 25th, from 6 p.m. until 9 p.m. for the trivia night. We would have Sunday, November 23rd through the 25th, 2018, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. for a pre-owned tent event, which is the outdoor event. Saturday, December 3rd is not going to be approved. Thursday, December 13th, from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. for the Ugly Sweater Party, that would be approved. And Saturday, December 22nd, 2018, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. for the Last Chance Holiday Shopping Event, that would also be approved.
Thank you.
Just so I understand, well, you did say December 8th is not going to be approved.
That's correct. We're not approving December 8th. We
Okay,
are
I thought I heard you say December 13th.
No, it was the December 8th one. That is not being approved.
Thank you.
Do you understand what we're approving?
Yes,
Okay, very good. Thank you very much.
thank you.
The next item is item number 2, St. Mary's Holy Name Society, 670 Washington Avenue. Stephen Fielding is the event manager. This is an application for a one-day all-alcohol common victualers and entertainment license. The application of St. Mary's Holy Name Society for a special one-day license to be exercised at that location on Saturday, November 10th, 2018, from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. The event will be a spaghetti supper dinner dance with a DJ, accordion player, and singer. Is there anybody here from St. Mary's? Okay, well, I guess that item will not be approved. Item number 3 is a hearing for Brothers Auto Body. I believe we have agreed to continue that hearing.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman
Good afternoon, Attorney Cipolletta.
and Commissioner Gonasso. Thank you. I had filed with the Commission a request to defer action on this disciplinary hearing until such time as the appeal from the district court case has been adjudicated by the Massachusetts Court of Appeals. The trial counsel who tried the case, I did not. I have the appeal, filed a timely notice of appeal. I was able to secure the audio of the trial, which lasted 2 days, and it needs to be transcribed, and the clerk of the Chelsea District Court needs to assemble a record to send to the appeals court. It was a bench trial. We assume that the appeal is going to be an expedited one. It's not particularly complicated, given that there are no jury issues or evidentiary issues that would ordinarily arise, such as jury instructions and so forth. Given the nature of, the very convoluted nature of the charge and the evidence that was heard by the justice in Chelsea, we feel that there is more than a meritorious case on appeal, otherwise I wouldn't have taken it. And second, that there was a substantial likelihood that he will succeed. If the commission makes an adverse ruling against him at this juncture, and he succeeds on his appeal, he will have been out of business for however many months it takes for the appeals court to address, adjudicate, and write a decision. So in the interest of due process, and I do not think it's unprecedented, in cases like this, I generally see it, I assume the commission sees it as well, and more in the framework of liquor licenses, but this is nonetheless within the purview, and in speaking with the city solicitor, I am told that you do have the option to do that. So I would respectfully request that the matter be deferred. I'm happy to give status updates in writing to the commission as the case moves along, should the commission be of the mind to grant the motion.
Very good, thank you, Counselor. Do you have any questions?
Well, it just seems like there's a lot going on right now between the appeal. We have a renewal coming up, which will probably, November, he's going to have to fill out papers for the renewal, and I don't know at this time to bring it up, but even on his renewal, we have a problem because there's outstanding violation fees that have not been paid. So we're looking at a few issues here. I do feel that an appeal, I would like to hear what the bottom line of that would be before I pull someone's license. The reason I'm being a little cautious with this, we have to remember that any Class 2 license that the city takes back cannot be reissued. There was a moratorium in the city. So if we were to take a Class 2 license from someone, we would lose that license because we can't, again, give it out. So I guess I'm looking at it as an appeal. If he were to lose the appeal, he may have the chance to transfer the license so the city can keep the Class 2 license in the city. So that's one issue I have. Of course, the other issue, there's not even a question on. There's nothing we can do unless the fees are paid that's owed to the cities. And it's a large amount. I think those should have been paid a while ago. They've been pending for quite a while. So as far as his renewal on the license, as far as I'm concerned, and I think even the board, we would not be able to renew his license. I probably wouldn't even take an application with fees outstanding, as with everyone else that comes here. We never put it on the agenda without all fees being paid. So my problem is with the appeal is that I'm more concerned about losing a Class 2 license in the city. Should he lose the case, again, we would still have that, and we wouldn't be able to reissue it. It would be able to be transferred to a new owner. So with that being said, I would like to hear what my colleague has to say and how he feels about this. And before I make a decision, maybe he knows something more than I do on this case.
Thank you. Well, I look at this as it's a matter of protecting the public. People are buying automobiles. They want to know that they're buying vehicles that are safe and are as advertised. From my understanding and what I've read in the record, there have been a number of incidents relative to this particular location, record-keeping incidents, relative to safety, fire control. There's a number of issues here. So I don't think it's fair to the public and to the city in general to continue this until the appeal process is complete. I think there's enough here to be discussed and to be resolved before even the appeal is heard. So I would not be in favor of postponing this until the appeal is adjudicated. I would like to have a full board when we discuss it, and if anything is voted upon, at least we have a full board to do that. So I would be in favor of postponing this until the next board meeting.
If I may just put a finer point on both Commissioner Gonasso's concern and also the chairman's concern. It's not something that we take lightly and not something that I hadn't anticipated. But the reason that the licensee was summoned is specific, and it is a reference to the conviction. So I think and well appreciate that there are some other administrative and financial obligations that the licensee has. I understand and know quite well from the renewal of, let's say, liquor licenses that inspections need to be passed, taxes need to be paid, fines and all of the rest need to be current. That issue is not one that I have waded into yet with this particular licensee, but I have a feeling that I'm going to be dragged into that as well as a corollary matter, and I'll make sure that that's addressed, and hopefully to the satisfaction of the commission. I will say, without arguing the case that was tried in Chelsea District Court, that this was not an incident where that had anything to do with his Class 2 automobile license. There were no there was one car. Actually, there were two cars to be parts made into one operable car. And that was not something that was for sale to the public. His wife's actually driving that car. And it was an effort to get a salvage title. It was not an effort to sell the car to anybody who was, let's say, to buy the car and would have bought it or purchased it under false pretenses. I'll save all those arguments. I just want to dispel that because I know that there's sometimes these cases grow larger than the evidence that actually was presented or the allegations that were leveled. So I wanted to assure the commission that that was not the case. If there are safety violations that inured to this license or this licensee in the past, I'm reading just within the four corners of the letter to appear for the disciplinary action. It goes only to the conviction. I'm well prepared to discuss that at the appropriate time. Not today, but I understand, too, the concerns that the commissioner has, and also for the viability of the license to keep it in the city of Revere. So I just wanted to make those 2 points separately.
Very good. Well, that would be, my motion would be to continue this until our next meeting.
I'm going to second that motion. Since we don't have a full board, I think in best interest we would continue it.
I have yes, and I had advised the clerk before I knew that there was not going to be a full board that I have a hearing at 2 o'clock before Judge Brieger in the Superior Court, and she has me all day for the afternoon, and I understand that that is on the 14th.
Yes, our next meeting, License Commission meeting will be on November 14th.
Yeah, I'd like to be here for that. I just can't because I'm under a court order. It's a hearing that began 2 weeks ago, and she continued it until that date. I'm not trying to skirt the issue by any means. I just can't be here.
We have a problem because his renewal will be coming up in November. So there are things that have to be cleared up before then. So if we
I
don't-
think that those administrative and municipal matters can be more easily addressed because they all happen basically within this building. So I think we can probably more easily address those than we can the judicial issues that are beyond our control, I suppose.
When is the December meeting? Would you consider continuing this until December 19th?
I would consider that only because I think there should be a full board here. And if you can't make it on the 14th, I think
So
we should continue.
we would accommodate you on that regard
Thanks, sir.
till December 19th. However, there are some issues relative to the license that have to be cleared up before then.
In fact, I was preparing to leave my office at 20 minutes of 3 today, and I received a telephone call from outside counsel to the city wanting to discuss those very matters with me. So I have a feeling that a dialogue will begin within the hour on those issues.
The motion that is going to be, that I will present would be to continue this hearing until December 19th.
I'll second the motion.
You're welcome. Yes, I know. Item number 4, Off the Boat, Inc., DBA D'Amelio's Off the Boat Restaurant. This is at 304, 306 Revere Street. Antonetta D'Amelio, manager. This is a hearing to determine the status of corporation, holding the license, and consequent status of license. Name and
Yes.
address for the record, please.
Antonetta D'Amelio, 67 Byron Street, East Boston.
Very good. Can you tell us the status of the corporation, the license?
Off the Boat Inc. actually went into Chapter 11 in end of 2016 through 2017. We started a new LLC in January of 2018. We were in the process of doing paperwork to transfer the license from the old corporation to the new corporation. But we had some issues with meals taxes that we actually finally did get resolved. It was a large amount that we had to pay before. I've been in touch with the Chris Temple at ABCC, and he's been helping me out with the application. I actually did forward a copy to Maggie, email, but she informed that there were certain things missing. So we're in the process of compiling the rest of the information needed.
Very good, thank you. Do you have any questions?
I just want to know, do you have a copy of the fees that you paid up to date?
Not on me, but I can email it or provide a copy.
Would you please provide
Yes.
us with the copy, just so that we know
Yes,
they've all been
absolutely.
paid?
Mhm.
And so the paperwork to change the corporation to the license holder, that is in the process of being done?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Well, of course, she's going to need that done before you can apply for renewal, which renewals are coming in now, November. So we're going to have that all updated. And you want to hope that it's done so it's on the agenda for our December meeting,
Okay,
okay?
yes.
Thank you.
I have no further questions.
I have no further questions other than once you put in all the information and update the board. I wish you had let us know earlier. We didn't know this was going on. And things like that should be brought to our attention. But I'm hoping by the time you get all the paperwork in order, you can be put on the agenda for December, because then we're looking at closing December 31st.
Okay, thank you.
Okay?
Yes,
Thank you. So I have no
Thank
other
you.
questions.
thank you.
Item number 5 is a board discussion. The matter of discussion would be the commission discretion, decision, and discussion about closing hours on New Year's Eve.
Well, I would normally say we would wait for a full board, but in talking to Commissioner LaCroix, he has always been in favor of the extra hour on New Year's Eve, and of course, that's not with alcohol, that's just for a Danish breakfast, coffee and Danish, I guess, 3 o'clock. So I have no problem taking it up, even though we don't have a full board.
Very good. I mean, what I have is a copy from what we did last year, and I don't know if this is what you would like to do this year, or would you like to wait until we do have the full board to discuss it?
Well, I read that, I did get that paperwork, and I have no problem doing it today, but obviously, if you want to wait for our other commissioner to be present, only to give them time, the businesses to give them time to make arrangements to stay open that extra hour. But I'm more than glad to wait for our other commissioner if that's what you'd like to do.
Well, I don't have a problem taking it up. I think that we can probably come to some type of an agreement here.
Would you
Last-
please read that from last year?
Certainly.
Thank you.
Last year, the Revere License Commission voted to allow establishments to open on New Year's Eve until 3 a.m. And although they may remain open until 3, they're still required to, sorry about that, they're still required to have last call for alcohol service at 1:30 a.m. And all alcoholic beverages must be taken from the premises and discarded by 2 a.m. And patrons will remain on the premises, and food service may continue, as well as entertainment will be allowed. However, the live entertainment and the live music must stop at 2:30, and all patrons must be off the premises by 3 a.m. Does that sound like something that you would be in favor of?
Yes, I was in favor of that last year, and I believe it was unanimous with the 3 commissioners, so I would make a motion to, again, continue that 3 o'clock closing on New Year's Eve.
Very good. I will second that motion. And so the Revere License Commission has voted to allow the establishments to remain open on New Year's Eve until 3 a.m. and that all alcohol must be removed no later than 2 a.m. and that the last call would be at 1:30, and that patrons can stay on the premises listening to music until 2:30 and must be leaving the premises by 3. And that's that one. The next item on the agenda are communications. We have a notification from the Alcoholic Beverage Control Commission approving a change of officer for the Revere Lodge 1171 of the Protective and Benevolent Order of Elks of USA, Inc. Number 2 is a notice of hearing from the Massachusetts ABCC of Revere Lodge Loyal Order of Moose concerning possible violations concerning Lottery Commission regulations. We have the surrender of license of William Chambers, DBA Chamness Bar and Grill, and a letter from Jimerson Enterprises, LLC, DBA Larry J's Barbecue and Cafe regarding anticipated opening schedule. And that is the communication, and that concludes our meeting for today. We will adjourn until November 14th, 2018. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
I will second that. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.